Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. This is going to be my Buzzwordathon weekly vlog reading all of books that have numbers in the title. So I'm starting off with Tell Me Three Things by Julie Buxbaum. This is one when I read the chapter I was initially pulled in by along with another book, but then my friend Alex said please read this one, so I want to start with this one and then I'll jump into Mr. Penumbrum's 24-hour bookstore, which I was also super interested in. So I've already read the first chapter, but it's been a while since I read it, so I went ahead and reread it this morning, which means I am on chapter 2. So I am right here. I am 8 pages into this story. So Monday through Friday I do work. I work from 8:30 until 3:15, and so I leave my house about 8 o'clock. It's 7:33 now. I'm kind of frustrated this morning, if we're being honest, because I wanted to print something for work and my printer's not working, and that's frustrating, and I wasn't able to have any breakfast because it was so crappy like this weekend, like the weather and stuff, that we just didn't get to the grocery store, and I didn't get like things that I needed for lunch. I didn't buy eggs for breakfast, and I basically have like no bagels, no eggs, no yogurt, and I'm just like, no avocado. Like so I'm a little flustered this morning, but it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna sit down with this for a little bit longer and try to read like another chapter or two before I go to work, and then when I get home it's just kind of like the whirlwind of getting home and all of that. So I don't know when I'll actually be able to sit down with this again, but this is my first book. I wanted to open up the vlog, so welcome to the vlog. Okay guys, I have to head off to work. I read to page 32 and I wish I didn't have to go to work because I'm really enjoying this. It's so easy to read. The writing is so snarky, which I love, and I don't know, I already have feelings. So I'm gonna use this cute little bookmark. I got this from the World Wildlife Organization, and it has penguins, which makes me think of the Arctic because that's how cold it feels outside. So yeah, so I'll pick this up when I get home because like, oh my gosh, it's so cute, you guys. Hi friends, I'm home. It's 4:33 and I wanted to give you an update. I came home, I left work at 3:11 this afternoon, and I'm driving home realizing how dark it was outside already. So depressing. I think it's just because of the weather and stuff like that, but like 3:11 in the afternoon and it's already starting to get dark. Like, that's crazy. So I came home, I made a cup of coffee, and I read a couple pages of Tell Me Three Things. I'm currently on page 40, so I read like a handful of pages. I just took my husband to drop off his rental car, and then I took him by the dealership because he had work done on his Jeep. So he's picking that up. He'll be home shortly. I'm just gonna jump back into this. I'm gonna heat up my coffee, read. That's pretty much my night. We should go to the grocery store, but like, I don't really feel like it. Hi friends, welcome back. It's day 2 of Buzzwordathon, and I have some really good news. I totally surprised myself and I completed Tell Me Three Things by Julie Buxbaum yesterday. I had no idea I was going to complete this in one day. It's definitely possible because I didn't try too hard. Of course, at the end I was tired, so I had to like get that extra cup of coffee and like get up and stretch a little bit, just because like I'm kind of feeling like crap and I'm not in yesterday. So far today I've been pretty good, but I was quite anxious yesterday at several points, and I can't really get into why because you would just be like, I don't know if you would even understand. But yeah, I was anxious quite a few times yesterday, but despite that, I was able to get through this, and I think that's kind of what helped, because I basically read before I went to work, and then I came home and I read a little bit, and then husband woke up because he came home sick yesterday. We went and picked up his Jeep, and when I got back, I just started reading, and I read it until I went to bed. I did nothing else. I did not make dinner. I did not watch TV. I did not go on the computer. I did not go on YouTube. I didn't do anything except for read this book, and I'm so glad because I'm rating this 5 out of 5 stars. It's such a good book. It has like everything you want in a novel. It has really good characters. It has teenagers that actually talk like they're teenagers, and it's witty and charming and swoon-worthy, and it also deals with heavy topics like grief, death of a loved one, like having to move and meet new friends and started a new school, and dealing with step parents and step siblings, and kind of everything, like leaving your old friends behind but still wanting to feel connected to them. Just so many great things were discussed in here, but in such a approachable, readable way. So this one girl, her mother has died and her dad has met someone else. They get married. She moves from Chicago to LA, and she's living in a completely different environment where there's a lot of money, and she goes to this really prestigious high school, and she has to navigate that, you know, new friends, being bullied, and just kind of everything. There's a lot going on, but she receives this anonymous email from SN, somebody nobody, that says, hey, I'm willing to sacrifice myself to you to like help you navigate this school. SN says that they will help, but they will never reveal their identity. And over the course of the book, you know, you don't know the identity of SN, neither does the other characters in the story, even though she's trying to figure out a little bit who it is. Even though they tell her like don't try to figure out who it is, she still kind of does. She's worried like it's a prank, and then she just kind of wants to know. But I will say I figured it out pretty early on, probably around, I don't know, 100 page mark, 150 page mark, but that didn't take away my enjoyment because I wasn't 100% sure, you know. And then there were other things that would be thrown in there to try to throw you off, but I kind of felt like they were just trying to throw me off, so that was funny. That I was able to like pinpoint, but they were really to throw the character off, but I was like, yeah, you're not fooling me. I know it's this person. So even though I knew who it was like quite early on in the story, it didn't change my enjoyment of it at all. And I really liked it. So 5 out of 5 stars for me. Today I will be starting Mr. Penumbrum's 24-hour bookstore, and I had no idea that this was part of a series or a duology. I don't know what it is. I just saw when I added it on Goodreads, it had like the number 1, and I was like, oh, that means there's more books. I read the first chapter of this before, but it's like been a while, so I'm gonna start over with the first chapter and just go from there. I'm not expecting to finish this tonight, but I might. I don't know. It is my half day at work, but I really need to get some things done. My closet, oh my gosh, you guys, it's an absolute disaster, and yeah, we need to go grocery shopping. We still haven't done that, so I'm not expecting to get through it tonight, but who knows? Hello, I'm here with a slight update. I just got home. It's 12:42, and this morning I managed to read the first chapter of Mr. Penumbrum's 24-hour bookstore again. I was totally enchanted and sucked in to the story, so I definitely want to jump back into this, but I finally stopped off and got some groceries. Hey friends, I'm gonna check in one more time. I just finished reading the second chapter, and it just got more charming and more interesting. So the main character, I don't think we know his name. Oh, Clay Jannon. So Clay Jannon works at this bookstore now. Previously, he graduated from college with like an art degree or something like that. He worked at the bagel place, and now he works at Mr. Penumbrum's bookstore, and he's talking about his time at the bookstore, like what he does and stuff like that. And I guess Mr. Penumbrum keeps a book of all his customers. Like, I guess there's two sides to the bookstore. So there's one side of the bookstore that's like normal, you go in, you purchase it type thing. Biographies, poetry, you know, things like that. It's a normal bookstore. And then there's like a separate area, it's stacked behind and above all that on the tall laddered shelves, and it's comprised of volumes that, as far as Google knows, doesn't exist. So he searched for the titles of these books and he hasn't been able to really figure out what they are. Oh, that's even better. Okay, so sorry, we were like way up close to me. I think that's better. Okay, is it? I don't know. Anyway, okay. And that's what is so interesting is he calls it, I think of this as the way back list. And basically people come in and borrow these books, like they have like almost like a library card, and they check things out. But there's 3 rules to working at Mr. Penumbrum's. Okay, so rule number 1, you must always be here from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. exactly. You must not be late. You cannot leave early. You may not browse, read, or otherwise inspect the shelved volumes. So all of these books that these people are basically borrowing, like he's not even able to look at them himself. And number 3, let's see, where is it? Okay, you must keep precise records of all transactions, the time, the customer's appearance, his state of mind, how he asks for the book, how he receives it. Does he appear to be injured? Is he wearing a sprig of rosemary on his hat? And so on. And in one, he asked what kind of buttons the guy was wearing on his coat. And it's just so interesting. Like, what are these books, and why does he have these volumes upon volumes of books, like discussing all these people and everything? That is so interesting. Good morning, friends. It is day 3 of Buzzwordathon. And again, somehow I have amazing news. I finished Mr. Penumbrum's 24-Hour Bookstore by Robin Sloan last night. And again, I'm rating a book 5 out of 5 stars. And I couldn't be more happy because my reading has been so weak lately. The books I've been picking up just haven't been gripping me. And it's been a problem. I'm really excited I enjoyed this one. This is totally not what I was expecting going in, but it blew my mind in so many ways. It reminded me of the movie National Treasure, but like about books. It was like reading a book about books, and it kind of felt like National Treasure. I loved the writing. It was easy to get into. I fell in love with the characters. It's kind of like you're going down this rabbit hole with the main character, Clay, and you just don't know which way it's gonna turn up. It's probably not the book for everyone, but I super enjoyed it. I'm interested in like, what's the part 2, because this really did have a good final ending. It also had an epilogue, which I enjoyed, even though I felt like the epilogue was a little info dumpy, but I think that's kind of the point of epilogues, like where is everybody now type thing. So I definitely enjoyed it. It's really about this bookstore and this mysterious bookstore like owner, and these weird books that he keeps in his shop that he lends out for people to borrow, and a new employee that starts working at the bookshop that is giving these strange set of rules, and one night those rules get broken, and it just kind of goes from there. So it's very interesting, and yeah, having a hard time putting like really coherent thoughts about this together because I just finished it last night at like 11:30, and it's early in the morning. So but yeah, it was so interesting. Next up, I'm gonna pick up Twice in a Blue Moon by Christina Lauren. And I'm worried, you guys, because I have adored everything I've read by Christina Lauren. And I think I've read like 3 books by them. And I've rated all of them 5 out of 5 stars. And some of them are going to show up on my favorite books of the year list. And I read the first chapter of this and I wasn't immediately drawn in. There was nothing like wrong about it, but there wasn't anything like gripping about it. It was kind of like a 3. Like if the whole book goes like the first chapter, it's gonna be a 3 stars. And that's really disappointing because all of their books have been 5 stars so far. Also, the rating on Goodreads for this, there's like over 5,000 ratings and reviews, and it's got like a 3.66. Hi friends, I'm here with an update for you. Look at this zit! That's awesome. Also, I am on page 10. Woohoo! It's about 4 p.m. It's 3:45 currently. And I just got home. And it was a crazy day at work. I didn't get as much done as I needed or wanted to get done. And I'm just kind of feeling blah. Hi friends, update time. It's 6:45 p.m. and I've read about 53 pages. I'm gonna be starting chapter 3. I took a little nap. I was just so cozy and I'm so tired. But I'm also fixing to bake some chocolate chip cookies. I sit here and read a little bit and have some chocolate chip cookies. Is day 4 of Buzzwordathon. And no, I don't have great news. I mean, I do have news. I'll update you, but I did not finish Twice in a Blue Moon. I didn't expect to because as the week has gone on, I've just felt like more tired and more Let me go ahead and update you on Twice in a Blue Moon. I am currently on page 96, so I didn't even read 100 pages yesterday, so that's still more than I probably normally read in a day. I read between maybe 50 and 100 on like a good day. Sometimes I only read a chapter, which could be like 10 pages. It just really depends. Here's the thing. I talked about the first chapter, like if I was gonna rate it, it would be like 3 stars. And I think I've read at least 3 more chapters. I wonder what chapter I'm on right now. I'm on chapter 7. So I'm a couple pages into chapter 7. All of the chapters have kind of felt the same. Kate and her grandmother are still on their vacation. They're hanging out with Luther and Sam more. And Sam and Tate are getting closer. That's all I'm really gonna say. Hi guys, I'm home from work and my hair is a mess. Since it's only 12:34, I decided I'm gonna go to the Book Exchange, which I've talked about them on my channel before. It's a local exchange store for books, so you don't get cash, but you can take books that you don't want anymore, and either they'll take them or they won't. Like, they'll give you store credit if they're gonna take them. If they don't, you can either just donate them. They do like this charity drive thing, or you can like bring them home or whatever. Usually I'll bring them home with me if they don't want them, and then I give them to my library for the library book sale. But I wanted to go through the books that I'm unhauling real quick. I'm getting rid of Imaginary Friend by Stephen Chbosky. Spider and the Fly by Claudia Rowe. I got this on a drunk order from Book Outlet. The Shallow Graves by Jennifer Donnelly. Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. American Panda by Gloria Chow. Fall by Jennifer E. Smith, which is signed. The Way You Make Me Feel by Maureen Gu, which is signed. Tell Her No Lies by Kelly Irvine. The Unsuitable Job for a Woman by P.D. James. The Secret History by Donna Tartt. From Twinkle with Love. Getting rid of Everything All at Once by Katrina Leno, which is signed. So I'm going to take all these there. Maybe I'll get some book credit. Maybe I won't. And then you can use the credit on anything in the store. I have quite a credit built up at the store already, and I want to get like seasons 3 and 4 of Outlander if they have them on DVD, and I'm just gonna browse the books. So I'm gonna go do that, and when I come back I will update you if I got anything. If not, I'm gonna jump in and read for a little while, and I will update you guys later. Took every single book that I took to them, and I don't know exactly how much I got in store credit. I know they just gave me some. It was all written on my thing, and all my books were out of my bag. Now, the point of an unhaul for me is to make room for new books that I'm going to get and read and put on my shelves. My TBR dollhouse is still going strong, and my 2 Billy bookcases, the left one are my standalones that I've read, and the right one is my series, the ones that I have of part of series, and then my Harry Potters, and then the top shelf of the right one is my Book of the Month collection. It's overflowing now. Had a full bag when I went and dropped books off at the book exchange, and lo and behold, I have a full bag now. I went to the book exchange because I wanted to unhaul those books. They were like sitting down here in front of me. And also I was looking for the Outlander DVDs. I told you that before I went. They didn't have that, but they did have Felicity season 2, and I really wanted it, but I was like, I need season 1 first. I love Felicity, and there's nothing you can say to change my mind. It's classic, it's iconic, I love it. I found some YA stuff that I was interested in, books of the month, and then like a couple of other books. For Better and Worse by Margaret Hutt, and it is a book of the month. So this is about a marriage, first date back in law school. Natalie and Will Clark bonded over drinks, dinner, and whether they could get away with murder. I went to the young adult section, and I found 3 books there. The first one I saw, I literally almost squealed. Eliza and Her Monsters. I've not read this yet, and I am literally so excited about it. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy this was there. And I saw this another one that I got for $5 store credit, Far From the Tree by Robin Benway, and this is another one that I've heard really great things about. I know it's about family and stuff like that, but this has been on my wish list forever. Last thing I saw in the young adult section, I wasn't going to get it, but then it was hardcover, and I have been looking at it for years and years and years. So I got Why We Broke Up, a novel by Daniel Handler and art by Maria Cowman. So I got the hardcover edition, and it has this great cover, and the end pages are cool, and it has like lots of art throughout, but it's also a story. Next up, I'll just jump into some random books that I saw. This one, The Woman Inside by E.J. Scott. Yeah, so this woman, Rebecca, meets Paul, and then, you know, they have this great like connection, they get married, and then 20 years later they're hardly living happily ever after, and then it just goes from there. There's some cheating, and then their mistress starts stalking them. I don't know, it just sounded really cool, and I like the cover, so I picked that up. The last kind of random book that I got before I jump into all of the book of the months that I picked up, I saw this. It's like in brand new, shiny, unread condition. Like, it looks brand new, but I only paid $5 in store credit for this. And I've never heard of this author or anything, but when I was flipping through, I did find a Pokemon card. So I got this Pokemon card in there. So that was interesting. I'm thinking they were probably right there. This is called Left Drowning, and it's by Jessica Park, but Colleen Hoover blurbed it, and it said, beautifully emotional and ferociously sexy. I don't like the sprinkles. So I did not get every single book of the month book that I saw, but my eye immediately gravitates toward them. I'm just gonna go through them. I don't know much about them, sorry. I was just immediately pulled in by them being book of the month. And also I would open up, like for example, for this one, when I saw it, I opened it up, I read this little part right here in a couple of sentences, and I was like, okay, it sounds like something I would like. So okay, the next one is Since We Fell by Dennis Lehane, book of the month. It is a May 2017 one, and it just says, after a very public mental breakdown, Rachel Childs, once a tenacious globetrotting journalist, now lives in a virtual shut-in. That's the first sentence. Next one I got is Beasts of Extraordinary Circumstance, Finding Magic in the Ordinary, orphaned, raised by wolves, and the proud owner of a horned pig named Merlin, Wyland Gray knew he wasn't like other people. Most Dangerous Place on Earth, which I didn't know if it was like fiction or non-fiction, and this is January 2017. And in his captivating debut novel, Lindsay Lee Johnson unleashes a cast of compelling characters in a realm known for its cruelty and peril, the American high schools. By Vitamin, by Rachel Kong. I don't know how to say the name. It's a short one. It's very short. Freshly disengaged from her fiance and feeling that life has not turned out quite the way she planned, 30-year-old Ruth quits her job, leaves town, and arrives at her parents' house to find family life more complicated than she realized. The Impossible Fortress, a novel by Jason Rekulak. And this cover is so interesting. It has these like little kind of pixelated people like here on the front and the back. Oh, these are all about $12. This one's $13, $12, $13, $50, $13. These are where all I spend the bulk of my money when I get book of the month books. Okay, so this one, A Love Letter to the 1980s, to the dawn of the computer age, and to adolescence, a time when anything feels possible. The Impossible Fortress will make you laugh, make you cry, and make you remember in exquisite detail what it feels like to love something or someone for the very first time. Oh my gosh. I got Lillian Boxfish Takes a Walk by Kathleen Rooney. And I remember this being one of the picks that I could have picked January 2017. I think that's when I started. And I didn't want it because it sounds like historical fiction-y, but I reread it. She took 1930s New York by well, let me read the little part first. In my reckless and undiscouraged youth, Lillian Boxfish writes, I worked in a walnut-paneled office 13 floors above West 35th Street. Okay. Oh, so it says, she took the 1930s New York by storm, working her way up writing copy for R.H. Macy's to become the highest paid advertising woman in the country. It was a job that, she says, in some ways saved my life and in other ways ruined it. The last book that I got, I love the cover, and it's such fall vibes, the cover is, and it's called The Lines That Held Us by David Joy. I mean, they're all these cute little trees. I love the cover. It's another like fairly short one. Accidental death and the cover-up that follows spark a dark series of events that reverberates through the lives of 4 people who will never be the same again. When Darrell Moody went hunting. Now, of course, right there, I was like, oh my God, I don't know if I can do this. If it's about hunting, which makes sense with it being like in the woods, I was like, I don't know if I can do it. Even though I know people hunt, I'm just like an animal lover and I cannot take it. Okay, let's begin. When Darrell Moody went hunting after a monster buck, a kill that could make the difference between meat for the winter and an empty freezer. So I do get the distinction. He never expected he'd accidentally shoot a man digging ginseng. Killed a brewer, a family notorious for vengeance and violence. Those are the books I got. Oh my gosh. This person tabbed, I just noticed. So yeah, these are the books I got, obviously. I just noticed this person tabbed the crap out of this. I should say they dog-eared the crap out of it. So if you look at this book, like really close up, there's lots of dog ears. Hi friends, it's Friday. It's day 5 of Buzzwordathon. And I'm still reading Twice in a Blue Moon by Christina Lauren. I had some things to do after work yesterday, and then I decided to go to the book exchange. I shared my haul with you. I'm excited about some of those books. This book, however, is good, and I'm currently on chapter 20, page 239. It's good. It's just not great. It's not a favorite. There's nothing really standing out to me. There's a lot of like predictability. The characters aren't like super grabbing my attention. I haven't like fallen in love with these characters. Friends, I just wanted to check in very quickly. It is 6:19 on Friday night and I'm just starting to jump into my book. I just had a nice relaxed evening after work. I've been watching some YouTube. I went to the store and got a couple of things. Yeah, I'm just kind of chilling. So I'm gonna hop into this book. Hopefully I will finish it tonight and possibly pick up something else. Maybe not, we shall see. I'll check in with you in the morning. Hi friends, it is day 6 of Buzzwordathon and I have a lot to catch you up on. The first thing I want to catch you up on is I finished Twice in a Blue Moon by Christina Lauren last night. I am rating this 3 out of 5 stars. I felt it had the same tone throughout. I thought a lot of things were predictable based on the synopsis. I wasn't really invested in the characters, and even stuff that wasn't in the synopsis, you could very easily tell what was going to happen. I did enjoy the ending. I especially liked the last line. However, it just wasn't enough to bump up my rating any more than 3 stars. I do think it's a good story. Would I recommend it? I guess to a particular reader who maybe only has access to this book other than some of their other stuff. But other than that, probably not. I'm definitely going to recommend The Unhoneymooners and Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating over this. But I'll definitely continue to pick up work by them. I'm not like turned off by it. It's just that this wasn't as great as those other 2 books in my opinion. So if you've read this, let me know what you think. I know that Whitney did like a reading vlog like when she was reading this, and I think she rated it 4 stars, which I think is valid. I just don't think it did anything special or outstanding to give it 4 stars. So I'm rating it 3 out of 5 stars. So from that, I decided that I am officially bowing out of this round of Buzzwordathon. I managed to read 3 books during the week, and the only other 2 books that I have on my TBR are Station 11 and Ninth House. And like I said before, and I've said it many times, I want to do a separate reading vlog of this. It's massive and I'm not I haven't been in the past a super fan of the writing, and when I read the prologue, I was already confused. So I know it's gonna take me some time to like dig in and really get invested in the story and talk to you guys about the writing and the characters and theorize and all of that. So that is officially out of the running. So the only other book that I have with a number in the title is Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. Only left basically with this, and because of the writing style and just like the subject matter and my experience with the first chapter, I don't think I'm going to be like initially pulled in, and just like it's not going to be a page turner for me. So with everything else that I have going on this weekend, I don't think I'll finish it this weekend. And before the readathon started, I already started another book. So then I would have 2 books, you know, that I'm in the middle of. And I don't really want to do that to myself because that drives me kind of crazy. So I'm just going to save this for another time and jump back into my book that I was reading previously. But I wanted to wrap up what I did manage to read. So the first book that I read was Tell Me 3 Things by Julie Buxbaum. And guys, this is so good. Like, it's super relatable. It's easy to read. The characters are great. There's teenagers that actually talk and act and feel like actual teenagers, so great job there. I would definitely recommend this if you like reading YA stories. And then I jumped into Mr. Penumbrum's 24-Hour Bookstore. Couldn't be more different. All of these are like so vastly different from each other. This one is another 5 out of 5 stars. This is just so cool on so many levels. It's about a guy that goes and works on a bookstore and gets involved in these like strange books, and I'm just like so interested in like where it goes from here. I still haven't done any like research on that, but I need to, because remember I said when I logged it, it said like #1. So I'm interested and I need to look that up. And then I finished out with Twice in a Blue Moon by Christina Lauren, and I've already talked to you about that. So these are the 3 books that I managed to read for this round of Buzzwordathon. I definitely like participating in this because it's not like challenges. It's just like find these random books on your bookshelf with this word in the title. So I really like the concept. I hope it continues. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you participated, what your favorite book was you read. Let me know all of the things in the comment section down below. But that's all for today's video. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye!